the toast to the Lassies and the toast to the laddies responsibly. I will make a pithy and profound observation about
This thing's zooming on its own.
My wife Kelly will respond. In the interest of equality, we will try to keep them about equal.
We're okay.
Although I'm sure that will be difficult for her. You see, studies have shown that the Lassies speak an average of 20,000 words per day. Well, men speak only 7,000, or 1/3 as many. Thankfully, I was not the counter of that study. According to Dr. Luann Brizendine from Cal Berkeley, that act of talking itself triggers a flood of brain chemicals, which give women a rush similar to that felt by heroin addicts when they get high. So men, if you wonder why your lassie often sounds like a video and fast forward, she's tripping out on talk. So don't blame her if she uses 3 times the words needed to tell a story. It's her fix. Not only that, the good doctor says that women devote more brain cells to talking than men. That means that men have more productive things to do than idle chat.
Productive things? You mean reproductive things. According to the same doctor, men think about sex every 52 seconds. Women once a day. In fact, she says that men's sex processors in their obsessed brains are twice as big as in women. Any brain cells lost to talking are taken up by sex, not by noble ideas. What's wrong with talking anyway? If you ask a laddie how his day has been, he says, fine, or more often than not, lousy. That is not a description. How about, I closed a huge deal for the company and I'll be getting a raise instead of fine. Or, I lost a major account. I got fired and we're going to lose the house. Instead of lousy. Which one sounds more like a man and which one sounds more like a woman with brain cells working? And communication is not the only area of men's brains that is inferior to women's. Dr. Christine stated, testosterone also reduces the size of the section of the brain involved in hearing. Allowing men to become deaf to the most logical of arguments put forward by their wives and girlfriends.
Logic. Men, do you think your lassies make logical arguments?
Yeah.
Aren't women known for intuition rather than logic? According to Merriam-Webster, intuition is a natural ability or power that makes it possible to know something without any proof or evidence. A feeling that guides a person to act a certain way without fully understanding why. Logic is a reasonable way of thinking or understanding something. Not the same thing. We're talking feelings versus reason. For a man to win an argument, he scores the last point. For a woman, you win it by descending into tears. Maybe that's why no woman has been elected president. You trust the fate of the free world to be in the hands of someone who weeps uncontrollably while watching Sleepless in Seattle.
Perhaps you'd rather rather entrust our nuclear arsenal to someone who yells and screams at the TV if the ref makes a call against his team. Laddies do have emotions, but they're much less developed. To again quote Dr. Brisbane, women have an 8-lane superhighway for processing emotion, while men have a narrow country road. In other words, if the ref makes a bad call, or it's the horny moment in his sex thought cycle, no other emotion can get past his 1-lane body. Compassion? It'll have to wait until the road clears. So, is the fate of the world that's determined by a push of a button safer with a male? If the missiles are male, maybe it isn't such a danger. After all, if they get lost on the way to their target, they'll never stop it.
Oh, low blow.
Maybe that's because they don't need to ask. According to Professor Holloway at Columbia University, men have a better sense of direction than women. We can find what we aim for, whether it be a target or a t-shirt. When a man goes out shopping, he makes a beeline to buy. When women go shopping, it's Roman and the glowing. The Daily Mail newspaper reported that a woman might become bored after shopping for 2 hours, where it's 26 minutes for a man. They also reported that 58% of the men said that they would pretend to enjoy shopping if they were offered a reward. However, unless his lassie were having her once-a-day sex thought, he wouldn't have much hope of that. Plus, it's difficult for men to go shopping with women because lassies are indecisive. They have trouble making up their minds.
Women have trouble making up their minds? Any woman who has sat through a New Year's Day with a TV on and her laddie with a remote control knows the meaning of indecision. Is there a reason why he can't settle on one game and watch it to the bitter end? Instead, he hops from the Gator Bowl to the Heart of Texas Bowl, to the Capital One Bowl, to the Outback Bowl, to the Rose Bowl, to the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl. Who knows who is playing what? Is Michigan playing Wisconsin? Is Stanford playing Baylor? Who cares? There might be a good movie on, but instead, ladies, we sit and watch the images flicker from bowl to bowl. It's a bowl of Tostitos and watch the remote. However, ladies, there is hope. If he drinks enough beer, he will fall asleep in his chair. Then you can grab the remote and switch to Sleepless in Seattle.
Let's finish these toasts in something we both can agree on. Rabbie Burns was Scotland's greatest poet, and he loved the lassies. It's very appropriate we toast the lassies in his honor. If you took out all the love songs and poems he wrote, you'd wipe out the majority of his works. And without My Love Is Like a Red, Red Rose, any collection of romantic poetry would be sad. Even feminists should like him. After all, he wrote, and even children list the rights of man. Amid this fuss, just let me mention the rights of women merit some attention. That's pretty 21st century thinking for a man writing the late 1700s. At that time, the law of coverture said that a man and wife were one, but with a man owning all the property and making all the legal decisions. Women couldn't vote or hold office. Rabbie was movie star handsome, too. A hunk with a heart. Women should love Rabbie as much as he loved them.
You mean the Michael Douglas of bonny old Scotland? Sex therapist Shayla Neal says Burns could well fit the modern description of a sex addict. Although no one seems to be sure about how many lovers he had, we know of at least 6, and he only married one of them, Bonnie Jean. He fathered at least 13 children, if you count the one who died at birth along with his mother, poor Highland Mary, and most of them were born out of wedlock. He believed in equality for women, all right. Every good-looking woman should have an equal opportunity to hop into bed with him. I'll grant that he wrote beautiful romantic poems. What better way to a woman's heart and body? Judging by the famous Alexander Nasmyth portraits, he was a sexy-looking guy. But he wasn't a man you'd want for a husband. However, we do agree that he was Scotland's greatest poet, and he loved the lassies. Just too many.
Well, our time is about up here.
Elsa.
But for once, I don't get the last word.
You betcha.
Gentlemen, be upstanding for a toast to the lassies. To the lassies.
You should pan.
I've been told not to.
Ladies, be upstanding for a toast to the lassies.
Oh, where's
No shopping involved.
To the laddies.
to the last?
Here.
Now